All right, Shalom. Want to say call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at GMS that rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim that's out there fighting, doing this work with truth and sincerity. Back here again with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect men out there that are listening and watching these videos. Just a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Stand in the spirit of prophecy as the Lord continue to send his message to the world and to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to awake out of sleep. You are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We have been scattered throughout the four corners of this planet because of the disobedience. The word always escaped me. And the offense that we cause unto our power Yahweh and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly so-called God and so-called JC, is back again with another warning to warn that, look, the things you see happening on the planet, the things you see happening up in Minnesota, Chicago, around the world, and Trump and Greenland and Iran and so on and so forth, people walking around prideful, walking around after their own lust, things of that nature. These are not random events. It's all according to biblical prophecy and the words of Yahweh. See, the people has neglected the Bible and the power that the Bible possesses. This is a living document. And everything you see happening on the planet, you can get it out of the scriptures because it's Yahweh Shah comes in the volume of the book, right? And that Bible has a spirit and it speaks prophecy. So words are going forth and causing a disruption on the planet Earth. The uproars of the people are protesting, but things are going to intensify even more and more and more, like a woman that's pregnant with labor pains. The labor pains will shoot, they'll contract, they'll shoot again, pull back again, contract. And that last one is kind of like it's time for the baby to be delivered. So the prophecy is going to deliver the things that's coming to an end, abruptly end, man. So the Lord is saying to give warning to his people, just like it says here in Ezekiel chapter 3 and 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. About to sneeze. Woo, shit. Son of man, I have made thee, meaning the apostles, the bishops, the elders, and the men you see that's out on the street corners giving you prophecy week in and week out. That's telling you who you are as a people, telling you who your enemies are. They're not here to give debates, offer debates and luncheons and raffle tickets like some other guys who'll go out there and teach, but not giving you warning about anything. They want to debate. That's that. But we're living in some times that's going to be so devastating until the only commodity in that day you're going to want to have is mercy. So it's best for you to get this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, while it is near, while Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah is near spiritually, because physically, Yahweh will send his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, with the holy angels to come back to cause havoc upon this place, to bring this kingdom down like all the other ancient kingdoms that was once before. Ezekiel 3:17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth. See, hearing is a very beautiful attribute to have once you know how to use it, your hearing. But this is a spiritual hearing. Again, you people miscalculated the words of the Bible. The words of the Bible are going forth, and it's causing things to move on the planet. Things are not happening randomly. Things are not happening randomly, man. It's the words of the Bible, which is Yahweh Shah again, that comes in the volume of the book. Therefore, hear the word. So it is very conducive for you to hear the words at my mouth and give them warning from me. You're going to hear the words of Yahweh, Bahashem Shah, by the men he sent out before you. and to give you this warning. You need to take heed to this warning. You need to take heed to the report, because we reporters, we spiritual reporters, reporting live unto you, live and direct, with a book, a document that is living and describes everything on the planet, is causing things to move. You see? First Peter's, what's that? First Peter's 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. The end of everything you see, creation itself. Everything, A-L-L, all. The end of your so-called lifestyle, the end of your thoughts, the end of your desires, your wants, your needs, your expectations, your so-called future. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. You're supposed to be sober-minded, not caught up in all the different philosophies of the world. Religion is one of them as well, and whatever ideology the people have. So the words that we speaking are bringing forth the end of things you see before you today. The end of the world is coming soon. I'm in the NLT right here. Therefore, be earnest and disciplined in your prayers. Those who's taken heed to this message and hear the report and been allowed to understand the report and have the belief of the report, they praying constantly. That's called a remnant of his people that's only going to return back unto him, meaning the elect. The 144,000, 1/3 of some men, women, and children. Because you look out the window and you see things that's happening, but you don't see it through a spiritual lens. You see everything as they are before you. You don't have a premonition, or you don't have an inkling that the end of this society is at hand. Just look at all the ice ages. Just look at everything that's happening. Nothing is random. So right here, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober. Watch. Don't be out here drunk with alcohol off your rocker. Also be spiritually sober. Watching everything, man. Be circumspect. You know, look around, pay attention. Get your head out the sand. Get your head out the clouds and start looking and understanding what's happening before us. And continue unto prayer every day. We have to. We got to beg the Lord and ask the Lord for forgiveness every day, throughout the day. And in hopes that he will give us that rare commodity that one will need when it's come to judgment. It's mercy. Because that's the narrative that's on the planet Earth now that Yahweh Bashim Shah is coming with. Judgment. It's going to be the end of all things. But the words are going out now, and it's causing an effect that's going to lead up to it more rapidly and more abundantly when you start seeing things happen out here before our eyes, man. But the end of all things is in hand, so you don't have a future. You see, you don't have plans, but people still making plans, man. Especially the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're not thinking about nothing nowhere near this. They think they got forever, and their kids go inherit this, that, and the third. They're not thinking about the end times. But you're going to be forced to know and hear and be in the end times. That's the sound of war right now. You know? That's the, well, what it says, but First Peter 4:7, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober, watch unto prayer. Above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity cover a multitude of sins. And that's another exit plan, if you will, for lack of a better word. Well, this is your exit plan, the scriptures, and understanding them and waking back up to who you are and repenting, and hope that you're part of that elect that's going to be delivered. At the same time, show charity amongst one another, amongst the brotherhood, man. Help one another. That covers a multitude of sins. So the Lord has given us little clues here and there on, you know, how we could be forgiven, Lord willing, by helping, showing charity amongst one another, man. You know, because it covers a multitude of sins. We have sins from our old lives in here in this time. You see? Because look, right here in the book of Daniel 12:1, and I always go into this when I do, the word time is in there like, shoot, 4 or 5 times. Watch this, Daniel 12:1, the time of the end. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble. That's twice. At the top, the title says time, so there's 3 times. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. That's 4 times, and the title has it up there 5 times. The word time. That's power. 5 represents power, right? I'm curious. Let's see. Is it going to go into something else? An event. The word time goes to, in the Hebrew, H6256. Let's see. Of future time in the Strong's 5703. Right here, forever of future time. Let's go back here. Time of an event. So there's going to be an event or multiple of events that's going to go on throughout the planet Earth, because the words is causing things to move, to be removed out of its place. There's a shaking, a spiritual shaking that's going on, man. The Bible also said the earth shall rock to and fro like a drunkard, meaning from the missiles being shot over here. We entering into Third World War that nobody's even aware of, man. You got your so-called crackers, Edomites out there that watch, pay attention and things like that. They see what's going on, but the everyday knuckleheads, they don't have a clue that events are going to come so rapidly and so hard that it's going to bring forth the end. And Michael, right, the great prince, was standing for the children of thy people, meaning he's going to stand up. The angel is going to protect the elect, the 144,000, 1/3 of some men, women, and children, man, because it's going to be so devastating. We're going to have to need intervention to come and intervene. Lord willing, we are the hopeful elect, gracefully saying, because we don't know. We've been called. So we putting on as the elect, trying to walk according to this rule, not our own way of salvation or what we think salvation should be and who it's for. I didn't make myself. I didn't make myself to be an Israelite. I didn't create myself. You see? And he created the Israelites and gave them laws, statutes, and commandments to go by. That still apply today. Now, you can't keep all the commandments, that's for sure, all the laws. It's impossible to. That's where faith comes in, and mercy. That sought out commodity that everyone gonna want when things get rough. Mercy is gonna be at the top of your mind, man. You see? So Michael gonna stand up for the people and shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Those who's taking heed to the report and returning back from their ways and doing the best they can, man, and praying fervently. You see? Because we know that the times and the days are at hand, they are short. So right here in 2 Timothy, let me get this in the NLT, starting at 1. They go to word time again at the title. Difficult times will come. So remember, I started the lesson out through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Shah with Ezekiel 3:17. Give them warning from me, from Yahweh by Shema Shah, who's speaking through his men. And this verse is bringing the end of all things. Daniel 12:1, this could be a time like never before. So until, the Lord had to send Michael to come and stand for the people, meaning his people, the elect of his people. Because things are going to get real dire out here, man, at the end of the day. And right here, dangers of the last days. 2 Timothy 3:1 NLT. You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days, there will be difficult times. People complaining now about money, rent, how things are going up. No, things are not going up. The money is being devalued by like 50%. So it's going to take more money to start buying things. The price is not going up. The money is being devalued. Inflation. And what you going to do when hyperinflation kicks in? When it's going to take triple, quadruple, or whatever the money to go buy meat or tissue. Hell, even pay our rent. You paying $1,000 now. That shit, and then you paying $1,000 in an apartment right now. You might end up paying $8,000 soon come. Difficult times. And women who have a pride, I don't need a man. You need a man in these times now, because you can't do this by yourself. You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times where people will love only themselves and their money. You see, people will start being on another level out here, man. Crazy. They will be boastful and proud. You see that now, putting the money phone up to their ear, talking about this chain cost this. I bought this. I'm doing this. I'm flying out of here. I got these shoes. I got this car. This, that, and the third. People are lovers of themselves, man, not realizing what's coming before them. They will be boastful and proud, scoffing at the Most High, disobedient to their parents, spiritual parents, and ungrateful. They will consider nothing. They will consider nothing sacred. They will be unloving and unforgiving. They will slander others and have no self-control. They will be cruel and hate what is good. They used to scoff a lot, man. Now the scoffing is dying down. And you see that type of energy out there now. People are boastful. Children not respecting their parents. And also the brothers, the men that come into this walk, you have spiritual parents, which is the apostles, the bishops, man. The apostles, down to the bishops. They're talking against them recklessly. Talking about they need to retire or whatever the case may be. Not knowing Yahweh Bahashemah set these men up. And the Lord used these men to put us in the best case scenario. People loving themselves, again, proud, boastful, buying these Hellcats, these cars out here burning rubber. These young motherfuckers got all this money, selling drugs and shit, whatever the case may be. But all that's going to come to an abrupt end at the end of the day. Because a lot of things you didn't count, and you definitely didn't count that the Bible is a living document and the words are powerful and it's causing everything to move on the planet. And I'm going to get an example on how those words move then and how the words is moving, what's going to cause a future event that's going to take place that's going to end this over here. This is Matthew 24. Oh, way down here. Matthew 24:7. I'm sure it's in the red, which is Yahweh Shai is speaking. Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. You see? And that's what's taking place right now, and everything is going to amp up. It's going to be amplified. You see? Hold on, I want to say. That's a good one. For the nations. Okay. Where is it? I know it's Matthew 24. All these things are the beginning of sorrows, and that's what's going. People gonna be out here weeping, man, gnashing the teeth. It's gonna be wild out here. But I know it's in Hebrews, it's Matthew's. Right there, Salakia, Matthew 24:14, and this gospel, meaning the good news, is still in the red letter, which this is Yahweh Shai is speaking. And the gospel, the good news of the kingdom, shall be preached to all the world. Let's see some.
Strong's G 2784. Keruso.
To be herald, to officiate as a herald. That's the men of the Lord out on the highways and byways are doing these videos. Preached, to publish, proclaim openly something which has been done. Ooh. And that's what we're doing publicly, and we're publishing these videos on YouTube. But let's see some. Divine truth. See? We speaking the truth. Especially divine truth. You see? So preaching is knowing the true wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Bible, have that deep understanding, and you speaking truth for truth's sake. So, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached, the truth, divine truth, in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Words alone is causing things to bring forth the end, man. And Yahweh Shai and the angel go finish it off on the physical level, man. Which the way it's bringing him to come and do that. Because remember, the Bible lied dormant for years, meaning that no one knew how to pick this Bible up and break it down. These false preachers and pastors now, these niggas, they're a bunch of niggas. Those ain't no men of the cloth. Don't respect none of them niggas, man. You go into that, what you profit not spiritually, you giving your money away. You know what I'm saying? The Lord go get rid of them goddamn greedy dogs, man. A bunch of greedy, conniving dogs in the so-called pulpit of these so-called churches, which the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai doesn't rest upon. You see? You went to a school to learn this, man. You got taught by the devil, the Edomites, to go out here and preach the Bible, man. And you just gaining money and getting tax breaks and things of that nature. The Lord see you, man. The Lord will punish you niggas. Because what you teaching ain't bringing in no end, no nothing. It's all about putting ends in your pocket at the end of the day, your money. You know? So the gospel is being preached, meaning the truth is being preached around the world. It's going to bring forth the end. And you have an example of that back then. Who? When Noah was out there teaching, what happened? It brought forth the end of those times, and his family was the only one that was saved. This is 2 Peter 2 and 5. And spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness. I'm gonna go over here and get this in the Greek. Just no. I think it's a preacher of righteousness. Let's look up the word righteousness. If I don't get it mixed, let's see something. The doctrine.
Strong's G 1343. Dikaiosune.
The doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So by him going on the highways and byways, preaching this doctrine, a preacher, divine truth of righteousness, doctrine. So this particular doctrine was going to bring forth the end. And it did back then during the time of Noah. It said, and spare not the old world, but save Noah, 2 Peter 2 and 5, the eighth person, a preacher of divine truth, of righteousness, doctrine, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. And that's the same thing that's happening right now. When the Lord said, give them warning for me, all bets are off now. When words start to go out, and now things are happening on the planet Earth as it did back during the time of Noah. And that same word since then extended all the way over here. And now look at what you're seeing now. Started from the 60s when those men back then, High Priest Ariah, Albert Bivens, came out. You see what I'm saying? And now the apostles and the bishops, now the men on down. That legacy is continuing, and it's almost nearing its end because the words being preached brought in the flood. And here's a future event of what these words go do in this time, right here, back in 2 Peter 3 and 7. But the heavens and earth which are now, meaning the rulership, right? But the heavens and the earth which are now, by the same word, are kept and stored. The same word Noah was preaching all the way up until now. That same word. People misunderstood the words of the Bible, how powerful they are, man. You just pick up this book and just think it's like a novel or something. You just run through it as if you know what you're doing. You do not know how to break the scriptures down unless the spirit of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is guiding you. You can't make yourself get this. But the heavens, 2 Peter 3 and 7, but the heavens and the earth which are now, by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Judgment is at the precipice of Yahweh Bashim Abishai's plan. This is what's going to dictate the earth. This is the narrative that they're coming with. Judgment. Real quick. Second Ezra 7 and 30 something. Second Ezra 7 and 34. But judgment only shall remain. Truth shall stand and faith shall wax strong. The people that's on this planet Earth, like the brother said in Alabama, man, Shalom, to all the Akim, man, the brothers out there as well. The only thing people got left to look for is judgment, and they don't even know that it's right around the corner. Meaning it's judgment. Now, judgment is being carried out every day, every second on the day, the night, whatever. It's going to be evident when things start to ramp up, when this devil starts to really show his horns. You got to understand something. That's the fierce anger of the Lord that's in these devils is going to ramp up, man. So really, it's Yahweh Bashim Abishai that's sending their anger through this devil, the elite families, to cause havoc on the planet Earth, man. On the planet Earth. So it's like important for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The only way you're going to make sense of this is returning back to who you are. If you notice, like Pastor Harsan said in a live video I just listened to, the scoffing is very, very minimal right now. It's not how it was 17 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because they're starting to see now like, damn, I don't know, these guys could be right. We are right because we're coming in the spirit of power of Yahweh, Bahashim Abishai. We have nothing but pure truth. You see, the end of all things is at hand. Give them warning from Yahweh, Bahashim Abishai. Your money ain't going to save you. Nothing going to save you. The only commodity in these times to be seeking is mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy from Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, I hope this is edifying. Until the next time, I shall say, Shalom.